Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. Looks like I've slipped under 2000 again. I'm down to 1986. My opponent is 1990. Let's see if we can get back over 2000. Okay. I'm expecting King's Indian, Grunfeld, maybe even D5 right here and go into a Queen's Gambit. We'll see what they've got up their sleeves. Okay, going into an Indian defense. This is my least favorite thing to play against. I don't have a good handle on it. I sort of know what I want to do. I don't really have good ideas and plans. Like here already, I'm kind of like, I guess I'll play C4. It's a very reasonable move, but I'm just kind of making reasonable moves rather than having clear plans. I think I will castle. Probably bring the knight out. Oh, right. What happens is they go here. I take... I should have put the knight out already. That was a mistake. Then they take... What do I do from there? I'm forgetting. I'm remembering now, like, that's been happening. Wow, so they're going for the double Fianchetto. Okay. Don't see that one every day. Or maybe you do. We'll find out. Just making sure the firing wasn't on too loud. What Ben playing here is stuff like Queen G5, but that's not with this setup, so I don't really know where I want the bishop, is what I meant to say, not queen. I'm kind of tempted to play here, here, here. These all seem like... In fact, this seems like a very reasonable move now, taking away this idea. I think I like that. I didn't really look at what if, you know, they push here. Probably I would take... I mean, I would push by. Some moves I'm examining are here, here, here. E3, B3, and bishop B2, just as ways to develop. I'm not really looking for ways to try to win right now or do anything amazing. I'm just trying to get my pieces better developed so that then I can try to figure out what the plan is moving forward. So I don't have a clear plan. Okay. I think I want to play B3 now and not let them just push all the way down. If I play B3 and they play there, problem is I can't go here. I play B3 and they push. Do I take? I don't want to take there. Here, here. I guess taking does win a pawn, so that probably means they won't do it. I don't know that it would be good for me to win that pawn. My pawns are pretty mangled, and I don't think I can hold on to this extra pawn, but it would be something. Okay. Now their idea is if they go here, I can't take there because then this would fall. But I want to be able to take back there. Also, they can't push through here. So this works pretty well. And then probably my next move will be here. So that if here, I go here. This doesn't work. Okay, so lots of interesting stuff happening in this position. Okay, so they're moving over. So if they were to push, I could just take, I don't have to worry about that. If they go here, I go here, say they take there, rook. Yeah, I think this is all fine. So now the question is like, what are we doing from here? All my pieces, only minor pieces are set up. Now I really think I need to start considering where I want my major pieces. My rooks, I mean. I don't know why I called them major pieces. Interesting, just move. Here does not look very good. Oh, did I have something here? I completely forgot that this was just open. I don't think there was anything, but I should have been looking. Okay. I've been blitzing this out a little too much, I think. I don't really know what to do. Okay, let's just make a reasonable improving move. I think I wouldn't mind my rook here. And maybe this rook is here. I think this rook usually comes to d1, actually. So, yeah, I think I probably want to play e3, rook d1. We'll keep this as a very stable thing. And then at some point, maybe we're pushing here to try to open things up. With our rook here. That seems reasonable. And again, we're just improving pieces. I don't have a master plan at this point. I'm just trying to make my pieces better and go from there. But I'm kind of out of like easy, subtle improving moves. Now it's going to get a little trickier. I'm trying to decide, is h3 a weakening move or an improving move? h4 looks a little bit interesting, giving me thoughts later of h5. I'm not planning to push h5 now. But if I'm just looking for improvement moves, another improving move might be a3. I also maybe could do an improving move of moving this guy. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward. I want to go here. They're on my rook. Yeah, I want to go here. I was thinking of going there anyway, and that just makes it real easy. Okay, so now their bishop's in a weird spot. I like it. This is still, I don't know. Look, if they go, actually this looks quite good for me, right? I then have the 2-on-1. I think I wouldn't be worried about that. I'm so happy that they made this move to be like, here, make the improving move you want to make. And I'm not really sure. I mean, there's parts of me that say maybe something like this would be good. Okay, so they're like, all right, I'm ready. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make a move. Here, I think I like. Here, I don't think I like. And I don't think I want to go here either, because I think I want this bishop to have a nice diagonal. Just leaving this tension here, I think works quite well. I just take, and that's okay. My knight is better. Then their knight is going to jump in there. And then maybe here. So if they take, I will be hitting this twice though. But then maybe they go back. So again, I'm not really sure what to do here. If I push through, I think an issue is then b5 becomes more annoying. Yeah, so I don't think I do that. But I don't know what to do. A little part of me wants to play knight a4, but I don't think that's very strong, and more importantly, it gives up some of my control over this square, which I don't love. Okay, here. So this feels like one of those moments where the answer is to do nothing. But how to do nothing? Doing nothing is very hard. What is a good do very little but improve my position kind of move? Because most things I could do will weaken my position. I think h4 seems like a reasonable idea. Actually, this is kind of interesting. Let's look at this. This looks wild, but if they did nothing, I win the game. So I go here. Let's assume they just go back. I go here. Their knight gets dislodged. It would have to go like here or here, and neither of which are very good. If it goes here, that's not so bad. But I have this annoying pawn like really lodged into their system. But maybe then f6 becomes very strong. It does weaken their king a lot. And then I'm on this. And maybe I have ideas like here. Wow. More and more stuff is coming together here. So let's say here, 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 here. And then let's say it is my move even. Maybe now something like pushing here and trading that guy off seems really strong. I'm going to do this wild. Okay, hold on. If I go here, it just hangs. It just hangs a piece, man. Not a piece, a pawn. Okay, so I can't go there. I don't know what I was thinking there. I got a little outside of myself there. But I am looking at this, and I wonder why not. Okay, the reason we didn't want to push here is because of this. And then if I let them take, they're here. There's a lot of pressure here. I don't think I want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to play h3. And then I'm going to play g4. And I'm going to make slow, like, I feel like I've done what I can over on the queen side, and I'm going to work on the king side a bit. I don't really know what that does. Perhaps it's something like, after pushing there, they can now come in. I'm going to do this move. I kind of like it. I'm threatening to win, so they're going to move back. Also, this pawn doesn't look as loose now. I have really loosened my king side for no real reason other than to gain some space and maybe mess with them. I don't know if that's a good enough reason. This might just be all ridiculous. Like I had a great position and I just threw it all away for no reason. That could be sort of the end result here. I'm very tempted to go here and then go here. And then go here. And I think that is going to be the plan. I go here. Probably best move is here. And then I think their idea is they really want to go here. And now they've got stuff cooking. And so I'm going to take that away. And if they go here and they take, I can handle that better because this knight is no longer here. So now I can go here. I can go here. I can maybe go here. Threatening this guy. Not sure I want to threaten him. And then if they go this route, well, now this diagonal is getting weak. Maybe I can even go here, sack, here, here, with the queen. Like, there's stuff. I don't know. Like, what I'm basically trying to say is this. This piece is out of the game currently. This piece is out of the game. This piece can't get to its favorite spot. It can go here now, which maybe was a mistake. But this piece can get into the game, threatening to take away one of their major defenders. I guess it is a point that if I take, they can take with a knight and come back around this way. Maybe that is strong. Okay, that seems like the move they should make. And I think I'm going to let that go, and so I can go here. And if they go this way, I think I can take. And if they go here, okay, so we got to calculate this. If I play knight e4, what if they take the pawn? I take them. They take the pawn. It's very advanced now. I can take the pawn back. Then they take, let's say, the knight. Am I down a pawn in that line? I think I am. Yeah, I end up down a pawn. But I have the open diagonal. I have my knight on e4. Is that enough to make up for material deficit? Problem with their king side, though seemingly a little airy, isn't that bad. And that knight on e4 that looks promising isn't doing that much. So what I'm wondering if what I actually want to do is take here. However they take back, then I go here. And yes, this pawn is very loose, but it's actually not vulnerable. So I'm going to do it this way. Kind of keeps them bottled up, right? These pawns are working together. I guess maybe, but if they take, oh, this knight is going to be gone. It's going to be over here. So I'm going to go here, takes, then here, then takes, and I would lose because the bishop is hitting this and the rook is hitting my queen. So if they push, I think I can ignore it. They take, I take, it's fine. Yeah, I'm going to bring the knight into the game. Threaten to remove their good bishop. I assume they're going to take. I'm here. Now I'm on this really nice diagonal. And maybe they won't take, actually, because they could just take back with the knight. But I'm on a nice diagonal. Maybe I've got this idea. That could be what we're doing. Maybe we're not attacking at all. Maybe we're just saying we have a big space advantage all over the board. It looks to me like we more have pawn weaknesses all over the board rather than a space advantage. Also, I could have taken this here. And maybe that was better. I have this double attack here. Also, after taking here, they take, we've got this. Oh, it's my move? What? Okay. They moved the rook over there. Interesting. Okay. What is this knight doing? What about here? Takes. No, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go knight here and push this pawn. They can push here. And that's probably gonna cause me a big problem. I don't have a good answer. I think the answer is I played this game very oddly. What if I go here? They push and I go there. Takes. I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to trade off a bunch of stuff here, and I'm going to be left with a not awesome position. Well, maybe I'm okay. Maybe in reality, they actually have the weakest pawn on the board. These 4 pawns, though looking disconnected, they're not disconnected. And this completely... No, that gives me an isolated pawn too. Here, then they move the pawn. Oh, that's fine, actually, we take that. Here. I don't know what to do. Do I go here, maybe? Hitting this pawn. They can't take now. If I go here, it seems like a very dangerous spot for my queen. I'm actually not seeing a way to... Oh, no, right here. Right there. Immediately pointing out that it's an awkward square. Okay, I think probably just going here is the idea. And if he pushes, I can't take. What about here? Hitting the bishop. They take. I take. They take. I take. Actually, that doesn't work. They can't take. They would already lose. Right. Okay, so that's something I'm missing. They cannot take. If that's the case, I'm gonna go here. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm really understanding about this position. Is I don't know what's even happening. It's very frustrating to feel so lost in a position. Perhaps this would have been the move. Doing that again. I don't think so. I'm so low on time, too. I've tried so hard to calculate and make good moves. I've really put myself in a terrible time trouble. Okay. Oh, this is very interesting. If they go back, I have this move. Wow. That's a really surprising move. I don't know if it works, actually. Because even though I'm hitting this, they can now push the pawn. Because, oh, but then I have that with check. And the queen... Well, actually, it'll be the rook that ends up hanging. Jeez, that's a really cool move. And that might happen. Because I don't think they want me to take here. So if we do that, then I just go here and win the pawn. Actually, I probably win the pawn this way. Takes, 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 win the pawn. And it'll be hard for them to get rid of it. So yeah, so I think, I don't know. That suddenly seems like a very good move. I mean, knight e5 seems like something that should have been considered for a long time. Maybe rook b7 is a good idea. Trying to back up the queen so that I don't have any cool maneuvers where I can, win that rook at the end. Like rook b7 followed by my knight maneuver. Okay. Interesting. I've got this after this. So here, here, here. Maybe rook there tripled. But then my knight goes there. Yeah, I don't think they can hold this pawn. Yeah, okay. I was like, why didn't I go here? And then they would have lost. Wait, no. Could I have gone there? No. Okay. So I can't go here yet, but why not rook here? Okay. What about knight? So rook here, knight takes nothing for the knight after that. Rook here, here, knight here, knight here. I take their rook. They take my rook. I take them. They take me. Doesn't look like it works as well as I would have hoped. But yeah, I'm low on time and we're going to do this. If I can lop off this pawn, I win. Another way to potentially get that pawn is to go like this. But again, they'll have this move. So that move could be my undoing. We'll see. Do they have another way to hold that pawn? Because they're searching, and it feels like a weird moment where there looks to be one only move here. So am I missing something? Is there something else they can do? A counterattack somewhere else? Some other cool idea that I'm missing? No. So I'll go here. So if they go there, I go here. They go there. Oh, and I come back. Oh, that's what I missed. So that's golden. They can't do that. And maybe that's what they saw. And so they're looking for something better, and they couldn't find it. And they're like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this move if I want to hold this pawn. Yeah, pushing that pawn seemed like was not the right call. Maybe it was. Maybe they had no other choice. I'm wondering about something like a4 to really mess with things. But I think I could just take, and then if they took, I would take back, and it would be fine. In fact, a4 would just drop an exchange followed by everything else, so that would be a terrible idea. Okay, I don't see the point of that move. So So it looks like, actually, we were just taking the exchange here and winning, I believe. Ah, no, they can't go here. Yeah, this looks like it wins. Just like straight. Oh, okay, okay. They could take that way, but then I'm here. This knight's doing nothing. Yeah, so we're just taking the exchange, taking the pawn, and saying, what do you got from here? Like, you're in a bad spot. Unless I'm missing something very dramatic here, my opponent is in huge trouble. Okay. Perhaps ideas of trying to bring the queen over here? Ah, no. I was thinking maybe he'd come through there. I think we want to go here, here. And that will win. Takes here. Yeah, I think this should be good. Because the queen is also hitting the square. This knight can't do this. And it can't go here. This pawn is kind of annoying. I'll be stunned if they don't take, but I don't know that it does anything. Like, they'd really like to get this other knight involved. Maybe their idea here could be to, like, try to break up the F file, perhaps, so that then they do have some counterplay. Because right now it's just like, if they let me just go boom, 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 move, well, I guess move him first, trade, like, that's gonna lose. So, what do they got here? Takes. Here, they can't go there. Yeah, so I just go here. If they move the knight, I take. It's with check. Like, it's just all falls apart. It's kind of amazing how one move just kind of wrecks everything. And for them, it felt like C3 lost the game. Like, I didn't feel great about my position until that. And then it was kind of like, oh, wow, okay. I think I made a few overly optimistic moves in the middle game that put me in a slightly worse spot. Well, let's see how they play this. So it feels like they have to find a thunderbolt here. Like an absolute thunderbolt style move to have any chance. Something like here to trade off those pieces and have I don't I can't like, okay, here with the idea that they could go here, but they can't because they don't have time. I don't know. I don't see anything for them, which worries me because it means probably I'm missing something. Maybe the best idea is just give up this knight. I don't know, but I think they would have had to do that before. Like, this queen d7 move I think looked really promising. I just don't think there's anything there because of the pawn on h6. Maybe something like knight f5 before would have been better. Wow, okay. I think giving up the knight is right, but I don't know what giving up the knight like that does. So I will take the knight. And the worst part for them is I can go here and just have a protected passer or take there. Wow, okay, so they're giving me the open file. So I take. They still have nothing with the queen. I'm still threatening to trade off a lot of stuff. Like, let's say they move the rook to here just to save it. Okay. I'm wondering here if what I do is go check. Oh, but what if they go there? And then I go here. And then... Okay, what about here, here, check. Here, here. Check. Here. Here, here, check. moves, takes. So I think that's what I want to do. It's the one move that could lose, though. Check here. And then take. And then it's still hanging. They can't bring the queen in. They could bring the queen in there. It doesn't do anything. So yeah, I think this wins. I think this is the way to do it. Get the material off the board. Take here. Wait, what? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that was a big mistake. But it might actually be totally fine. Like I might just be able to mate them. So here, there. No, this might be fine. So they can't go there. I'm threatening this guy. It moves to say there. Then I go here. Okay, let me make sure this doesn't lose. There. Jeez, if I lose this game because I did that, it's going to be really, really upsetting and embarrassing all at once. Okay, so they basically have to move this knight. My rooks are disconnected, but I don't see a way to exploit it. There are no checks. Okay, that's what I thought he would do. And now this is mate, I believe. Here, mate. Here. Yeah, I think this is mate. Whew. Okay, so there was definitely an oversight there. I got a little too cute. In fact, probably it was the right move. The engine will probably say, yeah, that was the right move. But because I didn't see Queen H3, it was really disconcerting. Like it's always shocking when you miss something and jarring, and then you're like, okay, never mind, I was fine actually. Okay, so we got there. Let's take a look at this weird game. So this is all just normal. Develop the pieces. Nothing to really see here. Okay, so B3. Is that a good move? The engine says I'm at 0.9, and that B3 is fine. Well, these are all fine. The engine says I'm at 0.6, and I felt like I was better, but I didn't feel like I was up that much. Here the engine likes D5 or E4, just clamping down on this thing. I sort of let my opponent back a bit. Okay. Peter thinks this is all fine. Doesn't love it, but doesn't hate it. Says I'm up 1.1. Doesn't like that move. Okay. So here the computer's like, just close off the middle. You have a huge space advantage. You can press this, but maybe wait on it. Maybe go here, clamp down even more. Just keep clamping. Okay, so it did eventually do that. That was the right way to handle it. And this was a bad move. So this was definitely a move that I wasn't sure about. And remember, after the fact, I was like, wait, why didn't I go here? I didn't even consider it. And the reason I didn't consider it is because I had been had in my head forever. Eventually, this knight is going here. That was the whole point of kicking this knight. So when this unveils itself, I don't even consider this move, which is the right move, and I go here. And now it's equal. Now we're just in an equal game, and now I have to re-get the advantage. But let's see what was the reason why this is so good. So they're going to take here. I do have this attack. That is not what the computer likes here. The computer likes knight d4. Ah. All right. Knight d4. Because they can't take here. Let's say they come back. And now the knight can go into c6, it says. And this is kind of what I was eyeballing, right? This really strong knight. I could have made it happen. It was just with the other knight. Okay. So we went down this road. And suddenly, this, the computer does not like. It says I'm up 1 again. I come over here. And the computer hates this move. This move loses. And in the moment, we knew that, right? It was like as soon as my opponent went here, I was like, that loses. Like, this feels like, you know, there's a lot happening here. How am I going to make this happen? If they go here, then maybe I have this idea. If they don't do anything about this and they let me take it by going here, well, then I can take, and they take. And this I thought looked still pretty good. Engine says it's not that great. Like, yeah, you're gonna win a pawn here, but like it's basically even, right? Have you heard the idea? Rook pawn endgames are draws. This is a weak pawn. This is a weak pawn. That's not so great. That's what I thought I was going into, and I thought it would be pretty good. Okay, so but this was just dead, like, and especially this move. I thought that was an only move. The engine says the best idea is just to give up the pawn and move on with your life without destroying the rest of your game. You can do this, and it's not great. Yes, you're losing, but you know, you've got something. You're only down a pawn. White hasn't infiltrated, but the way they did it, it just let me completely infiltrate and crush them completely. Okay, and then so here, this was indeed the right move. So I was right there. But it did freak me out when they took there. I was like, what? Huh? And in the end, it didn't work. I actually had a faster mate, the engine says. I thought this didn't work. I thought this wasn't good enough. Oh, wow, because it's a really cute move. I missed the cute idea. Okay. So that would have been mate. Instead, I went here, unstoppable mate, and mate. Okay, so a very interesting game. What are some takeaways? I think one big takeaway is when you have tension like this, and yes, it's getting hard and difficult to resolve, pushing pawns forward and like completely dislocating them from the rest of your army is very dangerous. And it starts here, right? So here, the position is even. In fact, I've been weakening my position every move. Like I made a bunch of weakening moves and everything's solid, and then they just push this pawn kind of for no reason. I imagine hoping that I would take, and then their position kind of comes alive and they're like, all right, I did something. But it's one of the hardest things in chess is like this idea of doing nothing, right? You got to figure out when the right answer is to not really do anything. I can see their position here. It's like they can't really improve the knights, right? It's hard to improve the queen. The bishop's already pretty good. The rooks look pretty good. How do I improve my position? I must do something. I'll push this pawn and break it open. And then your opponent goes, no, I'm not falling for that. And then I'll push it again. And it's like, well, now you lost. Now you're dead. So I think that to me is the biggest takeaway, is that idea of, and I think we both struggle with it. I'm not saying I did well, because if we back up to here, where I was like, I don't really know what to do, and I like moved my knight over. Actually, we should go farther back, when I was planning all this stuff, and I started moving like right here. I was like, I'll go h3, and then I'll play g4. This was because all my pieces were on where I wanted them, and I was like, I don't know how to improve them. I've put them where I want them. What now? Let's see what the engine says, by the way, here. The engine says, you know what? E1's a slightly better square for your rook. Maybe it should be there. It actually says h3 is reasonable. Queen e2 is a slight improving. Knight b5, which I was looking at, that's its number one move. I don't actually like that very much. But essentially the moves it's suggesting are very subtle, because we're in this really, I think the hardest chess positions are these, where you have to find a slight improving move without ruining your position. And my opponent made worse improving moves. Like, this was a bad move. The engine hates it. It's like you've disconnected your pawn. What? Just improve your position with d5 or e4 or queen e2 or move a rook. Like, don't mess up your position. And I was like, nah, man, I got this plan. I got this idea. And it didn't make my position better. It made it worse. But then my opponent was like, I know what to do. Well, I don't know what to do, so I'll make my position way worse, and then lost. So that's the big takeaway. How do you do nothing in challenging positions where there's nothing to do? All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll see you next time on the road to 2200.